Check it out. This is a new channel, Lindu. I believe that's how she says it, Lindu. But 7 things I realized about Dragon Ball Z as an adult. I was really just curious, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think obviously when you watch something as a kid compared to watching it as an adult, you realize a lot more different things. So let's get to this. Get it. I'm not even subscribed. This is a new channel for me, so we're gonna see if she deserves a subscription.
So for as long as I can remember, Dragon Ball Z has always been a part of my life.
I got black you.
In my house, that's what we grew up on. Now, I don't know if you guys have a comfort anime or just one you always go back to, but for me, this was one of them. But recently, as I was doing just that, I just thought about how differently I used to view certain in the show to how I see them now. But let me show y'all what I mean real quick. So without further ado, let's get into it.
No. That's subscription.
Now, before we get into this list, just keep in mind, this is young Lindo. So this is just how I was thinking as a kid, y'all. Don't do me. But starting with number 1, we got Chi-Chi's anger. I can't lie, at no point when I was younger did I try or even want to try to understand Chi-Chi. I simply seen her as an overbearing, nagging mother. You know, no different than how a lot of kids see parental figures. Especially when you're doing something you deem fun, sometimes something you're not even supposed to be doing. But yeah, I feel like this may be a common one. You know, depending on how
old you are. She's one of the most underrated, annoying, and hated moms in anime, but to be honest, she's the most ride or die. Study and do this homework, get us out the hood. I'm gonna keep loving you no matter what type of moms out there.
First watching the series. Man, Chi-Chi, she just used to be so aggy. She always came before or after a big fight just doing the most. Like, girl, no one is trying to be inside all day studying. We're outside. So yeah, that's how I was feeling before. But nowadays, when I see her tweak out, all I see is a protective mother. A little overbearing, sure, but who's gonna want their son constantly getting it on with grown-ass men? And every mom in the series be having the same concerns when it comes to their kid. Chi-Chi was just the first and most strict we see, so I think that's why it hits harder. But I don't blame her. This was not only her kid, but her first one. As most moms do, she chilled out a little bit when she had another. So yeah, if anything,
when did this happen?
As most moms do, she chilled out a little bit when she had another.
Yo! You should get this nigga the bare booty spanking.
So yeah, if anything, we need to be giving Goku the side eye. He's the one constantly having Gohan involved in all these battles. After what happened with Raditz, I get Gohan constantly having
For Goku, this was a cool one to find out his son is gay. Does Goku that go? Nah, niggas are silly, bro. Niggas are silly, bro. Hold on. Let me turn off this goddamn AC. That's silly, though. That's fucking joke. That shit had him heated. What do you mean he's not a fighter? Let's drop my damn headset. What do you mean?
Gohan involved in all these battles. After what happened with Raditz, I get Gohan needing to train to at least be able to protect himself and maybe his family, but I doubt he needed that much battle experience. Like, some of these fights were a bit much. Chi-Chi isn't even against regular training, it's the battle she be on hot about. But hey, I don't have any kids, so what do I know? But if I did, I would probably have a problem with this too. So yeah, Chi-Chi is justified. This next one pretty much goes hand in hand with our first one. Now, when I was younger, Gohan used to annoy.
Nah, bro, it's darking. He thinks I can't see him. Wallahi, I'm finished.
Me. I wasn't really so understanding when it came to him being so passive, and I really didn't like the non-training thing he started doing. It's literally why I hated his little school arc so much. But basically, I just seen him as someone with lots of potential, yeah, but what good is it when you're always selling? Don't get me wrong though, I loved when he actually did, yeah, but what
can catch bullets.
What good is it when you're always selling? Don't get me wrong.
I can't catch one lousy ear.
Wrong though, I loved when he actually did perform, but I do understand why he decided he wanted.
Gohan was barely learning math with shapes and alphabets, yet he was getting packed up like this. I wouldn't want to fight neither growing up, bro. Was getting
wanted to live a more normal life.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If I was 5 years old, I got beat up like that, bro, I'd be a pacifist, bro.
Like, can you really blame him? But not gonna hold you, if this is what Gohan wanted, he should have stood on it a little bit more. He was really letting Vegeta, of all people, eat him up about this. I would have been like, you doing all this training, but you don't be putting on for real. Like, yeah, I should have been training, but calm down. Vegeta really went in on him just to let Babidi put that M on his head in a couple more episodes. Like, please,
right.
All that training, but still need a little boost, huh? Yeah, Gohan's better than me. But anyways, let's move on to our third one, and I think this is my favorite adult realization. So growing up, I didn't really like Hercule. He was just too phony for me. But my dad, on the other hand, he kept gassing this man up. I did become less annoyed with him as the series went on, but now that I'm older, I see the hype. Besides anyone who trained under Master Roshi or Tien himself, Hercule is the strongest human on Earth. Plus, I'm sure he's the only human to never have to be wished back. So it's not like he's a total fraud now. Sure, he's taking credit for things he didn't do, like killing Cell and Boo, but let's not act like he didn't play a huge role in both fights. He technically do be saving the Earth, so boom. During the Cell Saga, he technically do be saving the Earth, so
That's
boom.
crazy.
During the Cell Saga, we got him, first of all, attempting to fight Cell, which obviously didn't go well. But then, after fully seeing what Cell was capable of, we got him still risking his life bringing Android 16's head over to Gohan. Which is super important because his death is what ended up sending Gohan over the edge. Why? I don't know, but it did. Then with the Boo Saga, he's even more important. First, we got him befriending Boo and putting him on game. Like, what you're doing right now? It's not it. Like, he really got Boo to agree to not do it anymore. Eventually though, because it could just never be that simple, the evil and the good in him was forced to separate. And then he did his big one, speaking to the people of Earth, because they were not listening to Goku and Vegeta.
People of the Earth, raise your hands up right now or you're all going to die!
He even managed to carry Vegeta away so Goku could drop the thing. And don't let me get into how often he's hit by someone way stronger than him. He should not be surviving those. And to top it off, he's far from stingy with the winnings. The Nick be splitting bread, so you just gotta respect it. I don't know what Kid Me was on hating on the champ. So next up, we got the Bulma leaving Yamcha for Vegeta situation. Now, according to Future Trunks, Bulma...
Then she saw my father sitting all alone and it just happened. Yamcha was always faithful. She got fed up and broke up with him for good.
Got tired of Yamcha playing the field. Don't make fun of me, but I didn't realize Trunks meant cheating when he said this. I just thought he was simply like a ladies' man. So, you know, I definitely felt a little bad when Bulma moved on to Vegeta. Vegeta was literally the reason why Yamcha...
I ain't trusting girls since Yamcha died protecting Earth and ended up with the god that came to destroy.
Went out the way he did. So moving on with him, it was a little...
Wait, hold on. Actually, bro, if I died trying to save this motherfucking Earth and got put back on this planet, nigga, I'm cheating too. The fuck is wrong with it?
OD. It's kind of like you getting fired and your girlfriend moves on to your boss. And not even just a temporary thing, like they're dead ass happy. City grows up. Nah, but for real, this is gonna sound a little foul, but how I'm feeling nowadays, whether he's a ladies' man or...
Now can we all agree that Bulma didn't do Yamcha dirty? She just got in an entanglement with Vegeta.
Simply a cheater, I still would prefer Vegeta too. Now, I'm not saying she was right for doing it like that, but I do get it. And I know people are usually like, how could she fuck with someone like Vegeta after all the shit he's done? But putting that aside, when we see them in Super, Vegeta is a good husband and father. Same with GT. Plus with the Yamcha thing, dealing with a guy who's constantly lusted over just has to be annoying. Too much comes with it. Then on top of all this attention, he's also cheating. So that means he can't even contain himself when tempted. He should have really been moving like this.
Noodles are delicious. Here, try some.
I'm not hungry!
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck did this happen?
This.
Noodles are delicious. Here,
Try some.
I'm not hungry!
Yeah, he did bad. And since he's...
The fact that Bulma's wish with the Dragon Balls was a prince, was a boyfriend, and several seasons later she finds Vegeta, who is in fact the evil Saiyan prince, and through the season they fall in love and marry. It's just beautiful. Glacier man, nigga.
always around, I just know he thinks about this from time to time. But let's move on to Yamcha's upgrade. So with Vegeta, back then he was really hard to like. Losing fights is one thing, but a lot of the time he was just getting completely embarrassed or outclassed. I couldn't really get behind that type of losing streak. Only beating scrub type characters just wasn't doing it for me. Plus, to make matters worse, he kept coming off as highly delusional and also kind of a hater. So I couldn't even get behind him like how I would for a proper underdog. As the series continued though, he had immense character development that I actually did appreciate then, but I appreciate even more now. He really came a long way when you look back at it. Y'all gotta remember, Vegeta was the Prince of All Saints, literally royalty. And it's quite obvious he never had to pop out and show niggas until he met Goku. His battle with Goku was the first time he's ever been pushed like that. So constantly being done up by, in his words, a low-class Saiyan warrior, it gotta hurt. Ooh, and to top it off, not only did Goku surpass him, but his son too? Yeah, I see why he was in his feelings after that one. Now, I know a lot of people hate the Buu saga for whatever reasons, but regardless of any issues you have with it, you gotta give credit when it's due. The way they handled Vegeta's character development was mwah, chef kiss. For most of the series, Vegeta was fighting on the good side, yeah, but only for his own personal reasons. And I'm not even knocking him for fighting for selfish reasons, because Goku does it too to an extent. My thing was more so, you can want to get stronger without hating on the next man so much. Being motivated is fine, but you don't have to have so much malice with it. So finally seeing him accept what we all knew already, and also fighting for someone other than himself, it was really a full circle moment. We really got a 2-in-1. He went from questioning how Goku could easily sacrifice his life for others to literally doing the same thing in the next arc. That's growth. But yeah, yo, I just feel like over the years, I just learned to appreciate Vegeta's character development more.
I think like Omni-Man is unforgivable. Like y'all ain't forgive this man Vegeta before.
More. Okay, so this one is really a conspiracy because growing up, OG Broly was pretty much my favorite Dragon Ball movie. But with all the times I've watched it, not once did it occur to me that the reason Broly was mad was deeper than the crying. This is the latest realization.
That is true. But Goku crying as an infant, I said he an
realization I've had for the show because I didn't start thinking about this as a possibility until a few months ago. I seen a short of someone trying to explain it, and then of course I just looked into it myself. And basically, there's a few theories out there, but I only really found two to be the most likely. One is that Broly was more so mad because while being stabbed, the last thing he hears is Goku's crying, so he develops PTSD from that. And the second theory was
Broly, the legendary Kakarot crying as a baby is not the cause of my trauma, but a reminder of the worst day of my life and a trigger for my fits of rage. That combined with living under my father's heel as a tool of revenge has pushed me to my limits, and I will no longer be controlled as the time has come for me to unleash my power and wrath upon all that stands in my way. Broly's second comment. Since Goku
had a really low power level while he had an abnormally high one, maybe his displays of weakness, you know, the crying, just really upset him. I don't know, the whole thing is iffy. I'm not really sold on either one, but I did want to include it because if they were indeed going for something like that, then wow. I promise you, this gotta be the biggest Dragon Ball Z misconception ever. That shit was not clear at all. But let me know in the comments if y'all believe any of the conspiracies or if you heard a better one. I personally think it's just funnier if the reason was because he was crying, but hey, that's just me. Now this last one I've said on this channel before, but I feel like it's worth bringing up again. When I was younger and even still today, I've always heard the Dragon Ball Z has no plot, Dragon Ball story isn't good, blase blase. And I never really argued against it until I got older and realized just because something has a simple story doesn't necessarily make it bad. Now, if you want to say it's a bad story because of the plot holes or things that may not make sense, that would be more understandable. But not gonna lie, this could just be me, but I don't feel like a few plot holes makes an entire story bad. Like you're saying the whole thing is just bad now? I don't know. I like to remember that writers are human too. So as long as the story is entertaining and the majority of it makes sense, how can I call it a bad story?
What the fuck?
Oh, and there's plenty of anime with plot holes or just something off that I feel the same way too. But for Dragon Ball Z's case, I for one something off that I feel the same way too. But for Dragon Ball,
I shouldn't have been able to see Ryuk at the start. He touched the notebook. He touched the notebook. After he touched the notebook, he seen Ryuk.
Z's case, I for one always watch for the
Did he
humor
see
aspect
Ryuk
in the
before
fights,
touching the notebook?
not to have my mind absolutely blown by the plot. Not everything has to have a deep ass thorough story. Like damn, sometimes it's good to just vibe out. But if I'm being honest, I really think Dragon Ball Z excels in exactly what it was meant for. It's always kept its comedic roots. You got cool and interesting enough characters you can be invested in. Of course, the great fights. I'ma go out on a limb and say I think Toriyama accomplished his goal. I don't know if it's because Dragon Ball Z was my first anime ever or because I'm a real sucker for nostalgia, but no matter how much anime I watch, I always hold Dragon Ball Z close to my heart. But yeah, y'all, let me know in the comments what some other realizations you've had over the years, or even if you always understood any of these. This was just a video I wanted to get out to y'all while I work on the other ones you guys were voting for in the poll. But with that said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
They were in trouble and you didn't lift a finger to help them out! Clearly. Do not listen! Cell is only using 17's voice in order to confuse you. Silence, Toaster! 17's voice in order to confuse you. Silence, Toaster!
Hey, Kamikolo!
Who are they supposed to be? Surely not my husband and son!
Well, yeah, of course it is. Ah!